Again, good morning everyone. Again,
Morning, ma'am.
house rules natin. Open your cam, mute or unmute unless called for participation. And if you have question, clarification, just raise your hand. Okay? Keep on opening your cameras for me to know if you are active, if you are listening, and for us to know also if you are working or doing something. We cannot call you to read or something, okay? I'm going to share to you the PowerPoint here. Matagal-tagal tayong hindi nakapag-discuss, tama? Since we already posted 4 topics from week 10 to week 13, we cannot discuss that just once, okay? So we will just have a review for the week 10 and week 11. And we're going to discuss today the week 12 and week 13. It's about soul making and appropriation in art. Before that, before we discuss those 2 topics, I am expecting that all of you can discuss the concept of soul making and develop students' artistic potential through soul making. We are going to start with soul making first. Okay, but before we move forward, let's take a review about art through ages and the history of art. Who wants to share? Anyone? About art through ages. Catherine Joy, Mego. I already gave you the learning material and also the activity. Now, if you're going to do an activity, please submit it on time because submitting on time is where I'm going to get your values. Okay, values, participation in attendance is 30% of your grade. So you have to attend our Zoom meeting if we have a schedule. Participation, keep on participating, comment done in every post, and also submit on time because that is part of your values. Although that is subjective, but you have to do your obligation as a student. Yung exam natin, 40%. And the quizzes, mga outputs, is 30% for the total of 100%. Now, what do we mean by art through ages? Kapag gumagawa rin kayo ng activity, dapat aligned din dun sa discussion or sa learning material natin. Because I observed some of you are searching from the internet. They just copy-paste without understanding. Minsan out of the topic. Okay, now let's have a review about art through the ages. This is introduction to the history of art. Catherine Joy. Para mabilis tayo. Anong masasabi nyo about doon sa binigay kong learning material? Natuto ba kayo? Or andoon lang? Hindi nyo ba binasa? Come on, Catherine. Who want to help her? Okay, Angel.
Ma'am, sa art through ages po ba?
Okay, Rafael, what do you want to... Okay, just ask muna natin. Yeah, art through ages muna tayo. Tanungin muna natin si Angel since I already called her. Mamaya si Rafael, you're going to discuss the history of art. Give the recap. Okay, Angel, Merdu. Angel? Kahit na ano, na nabanggit doon. Review lang natin. Angel? Can't you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, kindly give a recap about art through the ages. Doon sa nabanggit or naka-attach doon sa learning material natin, ano yung mga tumatak sa isip nyo? Ano yung mga naaalala nyo about history of art? Okay, wala. Pero sa quizzes, matataas ang nakuha nyo. Almost everybody got 15 out of 15. Okay. So nakasulat dito, art predates history have been found 40,000 years ago. Okay? There are found, especially in Paleolithic or Stone Age, that is 40,000 years ago. There are cave paintings that discovered, rock paintings, petroglyphs from the Upper Paleolithic or what we call Stone Age. There are also found or discovered from South African cave the oldest art objects, which are series of tiny drilled steel shells about 75,000 years old. Imagine, kaya natin nalaman na may art na before because of those artworks na na-discover. Diba? Lalo na sa South Africa, napakarami mga oldest art objects na na-discover doon. At isa nga sa pinakamatanda na nakita doon are the series of tiny drilled snail shells that are about 75,000 years old. Okay? Great traditions in art, napakarami rin. We have ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Persia, India, China, ancient Greece, Rome, and Arabia. They are also part in the history of art na binigay ko. Yun yung mga examples ng great traditions in art. May iba-iba silang technique. Each of them developed a unique and characteristic style in their art. Okay, their influence has been transmitted to other culture and later times. Na-adapt na natin and it's become our culture. Every period, yung mga period na yun, yung mga ancient Greek, di ba? Yung sa China, di ba? Iba-ibang period, there is a specific art focus, expression, and reproduction. Example nun yung Byzantine and Gothic art. Di ba? Ang focus nun, ini-express yung biblical and not material truths. More on biblical lang lahat. Western Renaissance, yun naman, that is the valuation of material world and placement of humans into it. Because before, the arts are just using some symbols without placing humans. In the age of Western Renaissance, meron ng mga tao-taong iginugugit. In Islamic art, it focused on the emphasis on geometric patterns like calligraphy and also architecture. India and Tibet, it emphasized the painting or painted sculpture and also dance with religious paintings. Doon din na-adapt, di ba? Kaya nga sabi, it passes generation to generation. Di ba? Nagtatransmit siya to other culture. Si Christine May Ligsanan. Kanina, andito ba siya? Let me check to the attendance. Para alam ko kung i-accept natin siya.
Lumipat lang nga po ako sa laptop, ma'am.
Ay, so ikaw ito? Ayun,
Okay,
nandun ka.
opo, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to accept this. Tapos mag-ano ka na lang dyan. Okay? Okay, go back to the topic. Yung art through the ages. Diba? Nagtatransmit siya from other culture to other culture. From a culture to another. Halimbawa, tayo dito sa Pilipinas, yung culture natin, pinagsama-samang kultura ng iba't ibang mga bansa. Because of colonialism. Diba? Meron tayong paniniwala from Spaniards, diba? Nakuha natin yung Catholicism from that culture because of colonialism. Another example is in China. Diba? Sa age na yon, it vary era to era. Traditionally named after different ruling dynasties like Tang Dynasty and Ming Dynasty. Alam nyo, naalala nyo ba? May na-encounter nyo na ba yon yung mga dynasty? May mga dynasty sila. Kumbaga, era to era. Halimbawa sa Tang Dynasty, ang focus ng landscape. Diba? Sa Ming Dynasty, focus doon yung mga colorful arts that tells stories. Storytelling. That is under Ming Dynasty. By the 20th century up to now, there are a lot of new discoveries of relativity. Do you know relativity? Ang nag-propose ng theory na yon is si Einstein at si Freud. Do you know Einstein? Sino nakakakilala kay Einstein? Okay, Rafael.
Yes, ma'am.
Sino si Einstein or Albert Einstein?
Considered as one of the smartest guy in the world.
Okay, smartest guy. Sa scientist, a theoretical physicist, di ba? How about Freud? Na-encounter nyo na ba yung pangalan niya? Simon Freud or Sigmund Freud? Karen. Do you know him? Okay, Simon Freud is or was a neurologist before and a founder of psychoanalysis. Yun yung tumutukoy sa unconscious mind, id, ego, and superego. Doon na nakuha yung mga na-influence yung ating mga arts because of Einstein and Freud. In 20th century up to now, there are narrative and endless possibilities in search for new standard. Meron na tayong art criticism. May mga different standards na tayong sinusunod in making arts. And also, meron na tayong tinatawag ngayon na contemporary art. Ayan na. Sa contemporary art, lahat na nang makikita natin sa paligid, we could apply into art. Diba? Yung example, caroling. Anong mga ginagamit doon? Pinagsama-samang mga tansan, bato, diba? Tinagawang mga tambol. That is what we call contemporary art. Meron pa nga naging artist na nakilala na nagka-award because of producing a music through leaf. Diba? Dahil lang sa dahon. Dinihipan niya, nakakapag-produce ng music that is contemporary art using materials that we can see around us. Ang isa sa mga sikat na mga artist is si Pablo Picasso na nakilala because of Cubism. That is his artistic style. Okay, that is about art through the ages. Yung mga binigay ko ng learning materials sa inyo. Now, let's move on to the history of art. Okay, I asked Rafael a while ago to discuss this history of art.
Yes, ma'am.
I already
History
gave.
of art, ma'am, yung ano, ma'am, yung last week na ano, ay yung
Okay, before soul making. Yung binigay, yung before tayo nag-quiz.
wala po ata anong ano, ma'am, discussion na yun.
Wala, hindi tayo nag-discuss. I just gave the
Ay, doon
learning
sa ano po,
material.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yung art history timeline po, ma'am. Ano po, babasahin ko pa po ba ito, ma'am, o i-shorten ko na,
I-summarize.
summarize ko na lang.
Yes, Rafael.
Basically, yung mga sinasabi niyo po kanina, ma'am, yung mga naunang art ways of like yung cave painting po na sinasabi niyo kanina, ma'am, tas through time it gets upgraded yung art. So like dito sa postmodernism and deconstructivism, it got better. Yung art po mas naging advanced compared to the cave painting, ma'am, yung Stone Age. So through time may mga naiimbentong utensils for arts na ginagamit. Tama ba, ma'am?
Okay,
Ito lang sinasabi ko.
exactly. Okay, very good, Rafael. Tama.
Okay, ma'am.
Diba? Sabi mo, there is upgraded na. Diba? Upgrading or there is already innovation. Diba? Imagine before, in the Stone Age, yung mga meron pa tayo cave paintings, diba? Pero ngayon, asan na tayo? Contemporary art na, diba? Napaka-advanced na. Yun yung sa history of art. Meron tayong mga art periods, yung mga Stone Age, Mesopotamian, 'di ba? Mga Greek, abstract expressionism, tapos hanggang sa modernism. Yung ngayon na, 'di ba? Postmodernism. At sa mga bawat art period na yon, there are characteristics, meron tayong mga major works, mga chief artists na nakilala under historical events. Diba? Nasa part ng history yan. Isa nga, nasa libro pa natin, di ba? Okay, may pumapasok. Okay, wala na. Okay, that is about history of art. Now, let's move to the Janice Bain. Let me check. Okay, dito naman daw siya kanina. Okay. We will discuss from the week 12, soul making. Okay? Ano ba yung pagkakaalala nyo? What do you mean by soul making? Anyone? Aside from what is written here. Tatawag ako, ha? Kimberly Mananghaya.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning
Hello,
po.
good morning.
Ma'am, pwede po paulit yung tanong? Di po nalinawan.
Okay. I gave you the learning material last week about soul making. Kindly give or define the word soul making aside from what is written here.
Soul making po, yun po yung pagkakaintindi ko, ma'am, based sa nabasa ko sa module last week na binigay nyo is yung kung paano natin kilalanin ang sarili nating perspective. And kung nag-uumpisa tayo kasi, ma'am, sa nakalagay po kasi dun sa module is yung consciousness, which is tama naman po kasi minsan doon natin makikilala yung sarili natin, yung kung paano natin i-identify yung sarili nating perspective kung sino po ba tayo. Yun po.
Okay, thank you, Kimberly. Exactly. Tama, diba? It's about consciousness, our perspective, our deeper comprehension. Okay? To know oneself or to know better about ourselves. Dito as Dr. Norman Narciso, one of the leading Filipino thought leaders in the art world. deeply explains soul-making. But in fact, there is no exact definition of soul-making. Kasi soul-making, subjective din siya. Soul-making, according to Dr. Norman Narciso, is making or is an alternative place to know oneself and to look at the depth between quality and the meaning, your comprehension and understanding, okay, of what we do in our daily lives. Soul making is a step towards the deeper comprehension of how the world is perceived and how his or her own personality is seen. Soul making plays a major role in art production. Okay, from Greek words, the word soul making is coined from the word meta and phero. Meta and phero. Meta means above and phero means to carry. It means image or phrase that carries the reader above literary sensory realm into realm of um, invisible imagination. Kuha nyo ba? It's about meaning, comprehension above the literary composition of the art. Now, marami tayo ditong ibig sabihin ng soul making. And one of the step or meaning is knowing oneself. In soul making, who are you is the topic that throughout the process serves as a guidepost. Knowing oneself begins with consciousness. In order to start the process, it is necessary to realize and embrace one's truth, history, and understanding of existence. With this newfound insight, art, which is actually the very core of soul making, can now come into play. Therefore, it is not so much production that is mostly taken into account, but the method of perceiving anything. That is knowing oneself. Who are you? Diba? What um what is your role as a reader, as a viewer, or as the doer or maker of that specific art? That is knowing oneself. Before you start making an art or appreciating an art, you have to know yourself. Who are you? Okay? Next is depth and essence. When you say depth, the quality, and essence is the importance. Okay? The quality and importance of the artwork. That is very important as well. Soul making is more than soul's religious perspective. Soul refers to a person's individuality that resonates with his or her behavior. Since art is human expression that is highly valued and symbolic, a person typically uses different art forms to fulfill the need to communicate and express himself or herself. The human desire to actualize his or her very being is strongly assisted by soul making. Okay? Because we all know we are using arts to better express ourselves. Okay? That is the quality and the importance. Okay? Kasi gumagawa tayo ng art where we know that we can better express ourselves. Halimbawa ako, mas prefer ko ang gumamit ng charcoal painting because bihasa ako doon. Dahil mas alam ko na magagawa ko ng maayos yung pakikipag-communicate sa mga viewer. Pa? Kayo, halimbawa, mas prefer nyo naman ang sculpture. Di ba? We have differences. Okay? To express or to transmit our feelings, emotions, and perspective. Next, what we are doing. Kindly give or kindly read this Marilu. Marilu, kindly read this.
Yung sa what are we are doing, ma'am?
Yes.
Art gives a person a sense of purpose about what he or she is doing. As any artwork is an expression of one's perception, feelings, emotions, and realities. The key to personal cultural growth is the process of creating such expression. Soul-making utilize every human experience to build the influence that can make the artist himself and other improve.
Okay. Thank you, Marilu. Once, namatay yung ating Zoom meeting, balik lang kayo ha, because after a minute, mag-off na siya. Okay. What we are doing. We are making an art for a purpose, right? Hindi naman tayo gumagawa lang kasi trip lang natin. Meron tayong purpose. Okay? Why we are doing that? Our aim. Ano ba yung aim natin? To influence, to show your emotion, to give meaning into the life of others. Diba? Iba-iba yung purpose natin when we are doing art. Dapat ma-identify mo yun in order to do or apply this soul making. You have to know yourself. You have to know the quality, the importance of what you're doing, and what we are doing. Okay? Ano bang ginagawa natin in our purpose? Why we are doing that? Next is everyday life. Okay? After a minute, mamamatay na siya. So, mamaya, babasahin na lang natin ito.